Welcome back everybody, I'm the programmer and I'm here to teach you everything you need to know about coding to get a job. Today we're going to look at the final part of our conditional statement series and we're going to take a look at the switch statements. So if you're ready, put on your favorite tank top, grab yourself some SARMs, I mean a protein shake, and let's get started. Okay, so what exactly is a switch statement? Well, a switch statement is something we use when we want to perform different actions based on different conditions. Very similar to an else-if chain. However, instead of having to write out a lot of else-if, 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 we can write this a bit cleaner by doing a switch statement. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let's say we have the following variables. We have day, which is equal to 3 in this case, and we have the variable day name. And I would ask you to program a piece of code which tells me the name of the day corresponding to the number. So if I would say day is equal to 1, then you're gonna say, well, that's Monday. If day is 2, you're gonna say that's Tuesday, 3, Wednesday, etc, etc. You'll probably say something like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna start off with an if, and I'm gonna check if day is equal to 1, strictly equal to 1. Then I wanna execute the following code, namely day name should be Monday. And if that's not the case, then I want to go to day 2. If day is going to be equal to 2, then that's going to be choose day. And if that's not the case, I'm going to go to the next one, etc, etc. You get the idea. However, this is going to be a very long else-if chain, and you don't really want to do that. You're just checking a very simple condition. It's just one thing you're checking. So, instead of doing all of this, we can use a switch statement. And to start off a switch statement, we're going to start with just typing switch. And then we open up some parentheses. And in there, you're going to give the variable or the thing that you want to check with. In this case, it's going to be day, right? So it's going to take day as an input. And now we can open up some curly brackets. And within there, we're going to define some cases. And you can see these cases as if statements or else if statements. Let me demonstrate. Case 1. And in this case, we're going to say that day name is Monday. And then we're going to break. So what exactly does this code do? Well, again, it's going to look at day, which we define to be 3, and it's going to go to the first case, and this case is 1. And this 1 is not an indicator of some type of order of cases, because this could also be high. The case is simply the thing that we're going to be checking day with. So in our case, we set day to 3. In this case, we're checking if day is going to be 1. If that is, the case, then day name is going to be Monday. And if that's correct, then we're going to break. And what this means is we're going to break out of the switch statement. We're done. We don't need to check any further. However, if that is not the case, then we're going to check 2. And this day name is going to be Tuesday. And again, we're going to put down a break. If we don't put down the break, then it's going to continue through the switch statement, which is something that we don't want. So right now, we have day 3, then it's going to go to case 1. Is it that? Is it really 1? Well, no, it's 3. So we're not going to go through this case right here. So the next case is going to be 2. Well, let's take a look. Is day equal to 2? Well, no, it's still 3. So we're not going to go through this case either. However, now, if I define case, and I'm asking whether day is going to be equal to 3, then we can set day name to Wednesday. And put the break there. Now, it's going to return Wednesday. Because it's going to look through case 1. Well, it's not 1. Case 2. Well, it's not 2. Case 3. Uh-oh, wait a second. It is case 3. So, day name is going to be Wednesday. Right. And then, once that's done, it's going to break out of the switch statement. And your mission is complete. And I'm just going to go ahead and write down the other days as well. And if I press on enter, then it's going to return Wednesday. However, I can also go ahead and console log day name. And that's going to return Wednesday as well. So, one thing we're missing, however, is what usually would be the else statement. Right now, we have a bunch of different ifs and else ifs. But what if the number is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but it's going to be something completely different? Usually, we would make an else statement right here. But how exactly do we do that within a switch statement? Well, we do the following. If I bring back our switch statement, and I'm going to define another case, but instead of writing down case, I'm going to write down default. This is going to be the default value. This is going to be our else statement. And I'm just going to say that day name is equal to weekend or invalid day. Let's go through the code again. Let's say I'm defining day and day name. And I'm going to pull up my switch statement again. Then what's going to happen is we're going to check for day. Day is going to be 3. It's going to go to case, which is 1. It's not 1. Next case, 2. It's not 2. 3. Well, it is 3. So we're going to change day name to Wednesday. And then we're going to break out of there. And you can already see that the result is going to be Wednesday. However, if I'm going to change day to 6, which would be Saturday, and I'm going to run the switch statement again, that is going to tell me, well, it's weekend or it's an invalid day. So it doesn't fit any of these 5 values right here. So it's going to resort to the default value. And that's how switch statements work. It might be a tiny bit confusing when you first get started, because you're always used to using if, else, and now you have to write everything in cases. So that might be a little weird at first, but if you start seeing a case as an if or an else if, and the default as an else, it's going to be very straightforward. It's going to come very naturally. If you try these things a few times, then you'll get a grip of it very quickly. And that's it. That is how conditional statements work. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. God bless, and goodbye.